Yeah, shout out to Coach Casey, man. That guy's cool. He always treats me with such good like respect. Always makes me feel
Jason,
good there, man. He's such a great guy. And I'll tell you, Aljamain Sterling is another guy with really different jujitsu. But dude, one of the guys who tapped me out the worst was Nathan Orchard. Beat the shit out of me,
yeah.
dude. Dude, he fucked me up. I was
I know
oh,
Nathan well. Yeah.
oh
I remember
man.
as a blue belt, I flew to Portland and spent like a week there, and I did a few privates with Nathan. And this is just when leg locks were becoming big, right? So I think in one round he got me in like 7 or 8 heel hooks because I just didn't know what the hell was going on, and like just all over me. And I'm like, wow, that was a wake up call. And I felt tangibly better after that roll because I'm like, I see what you're doing now. Like I was not familiar with it, but I credit Nathan Orchard with really giving me like my first look of real leg lock, like the possible. What is honey hole? I didn't even know what honey hole, what 411 was, you know. So I mean, he's got an all around game. Him and I were partners at the J Flow Mastermind last year. I was pleasantly surprised to see him there, and he's just a very very focused martial artist, you know. Nathan Orchard, like he's just a stand-up guy. You know, he's got an amazing guard. He's got deadly passing. His leg locks are dangerous. He's still active competing. I think now he's putting out more of a program. I think he's creating a program online thing to put out. But yeah. Sorry to interrupt. How was your role with him? Like he just ran on you.
Yeah, dude. He was like, "You want to do a couple rounds?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude." And then after, I was like, "Dude, that was really humbling." I was like, I haven't gotten my ass beat like that, like at that, because dude, he's so intense. You know what I mean? And after like a couple of taps, you'd think he'd be like, "All right, I'm way better than this guy." And he just kept kicking the shit out of me. And at the end, we had like a good talk. And he's like, "You know, I know your team. I respect you guys." And dude, I was just thinking after that, I went back and I was like, that guy doesn't win every tournament. Like that guy's that good and somebody beats him. Like where does the average guy that's never trained get off walking around thinking that they could do anything to like a blue belt when there's black belt? Stuff like that makes me walk away and be like, man, people have I've been training for 20 years with the best people in the world and I could do nothing to him and he could have fucking killed me. And me on my best day wouldn't have been able to do anything to him. And then somebody's better than that. Like, dude, it's so crazy, but it's also so like amazing, you know, to be like, man, that's why it's awesome. You know, we became friendly after that. I did a couple more privates with him after, and you know, we laughed about it and stuff. So, but you know, that's the experience. Being able to watch a guy online that you're like, man, that's the guy who invented the Dead Orchard. I'm going to pay him and go there and learn how to do the Dead Orchard from him, and then leave there and be like, yeah, like I got beat up by that guy and now we're friends. Like, what's cooler than that? You know what I mean? You couldn't like be like a basketball fan and be like, oh, I'm in Chicago. I'm going to hit up Michael Jordan and just have him beat the shit out of me in a one-on-one. Like, but we can do that, man. It's pretty incredible.
Always loved that about jiu-jitsu. I've always like day one, that was such a cool thing. That even the little thing with Orlando Sanchez I said earlier was like, to me, I mean, he was like a superstar, like black belt. He's going and competing for Gracie Baja when I was Gracie Baja. And, you know, I'm like, just the fact that we had an interaction at that point that day, I was like, wow, this is like unlike any other sport. And I mean, that was such a small scale of it, right? And now all these years later, it's like, you can hit up Hodger Gracie, say what's up. He's kind of exclusive, but you can go train with him. It's not like the hardest thing in the world. You know, you can train with the best of the best. You know, you can learn from the best of the best. And, you know, aside from the mental part, the technical part, a lot of it is physical. A lot of it is just keeping yourself in shape. You know, I've learned this. You can have all these credentials, belts, and this and that. And I'm like, the biggest investment for me, aside from technique these days, is consistent training, recovery, personal trainer 4 times a week, just to freaking, you know, almost outsource like the lifting, you know, just to make it like, so it's like I'm getting that time in no matter what, and I do stuff on my own. But then it's like I'm just trying right now while I'm 37. I got some more gas left to compete. Like, let me try to get some wins. Like Eddie Bravo told me, like, so he's very like well known in jiu-jitsu. He can obviously get seminars. And these days, you're not going to get Eddie for less than like $10K a seminar. Like that's his rate. Like, he's not going to get out of bed for less than that. But there's a lot of seminars that people would love to give him 2-3K, and he's like, I'm not going to do that shit. So like, but I mean, he's like, I got students. He's like, guys like you, Arman, or someone else who, yeah, I would do a seminar for that. Hell yeah, I would. Easy. And it's like a lot of guys who totally would. And it's just it would be such a fun thing. And you know, he's like, Arman, I want you to like be one of the guys to do these things where go compete, go get your name out there, go get the highlights. I'll blast them out all the time so you can build your name a little bit. And it's just what it takes. You have to put yourself on the line. You have to compete more. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's the only way because I've seen people build really good careers in jiu-jitsu without ever competing, but it seems like a pretty sure way.